So yeah, in my opinion, the best song that Thom Yorke ever wrote is from his solo album, The Eraser, which I think it was out in about 2005, 2006 maybe, and the song Harrow Down Hill, which I'll link up in the description there, and or sorry, in the corner down description, whatever. So it's a brilliant, brilliant song. It's so good. It's just fantastic. I mean, it just works on every level. It's a really good song. It's really uh, it's just it's a mixture of kind of quiet ambience and a really really barnstorming vocal performance from Thom Yorke with a I think it's like a bass sort of riff playing throughout it, and but also like the subject matter and the way he develops the subject matter in the song. It's about a guy called David Kelly. He was a Ministry of Defence analyst in the Blair government back when the coalition of the willing decided that Iraq needed to be invaded, and he I can't remember the exact details, but he was basically expressing concern that there was very little uh, basis for doing that, or certainly the rationale of weapons of mass destruction didn't look like it was very well supported, and he made that known to the press that he had concerns, and I can't remember the exact details, but he was basically thrown under the bus by the government, and he died in, you know, did he commit suicide or did something more untoward occur? But it's a fantastic song. It's angry, but in a very low key way. It could, if Thom Yorke had been more curious about the subject matter, maybe it might have stirred him to move from his kind of ironic, probably liberal position to maybe something a little bit harder. But that's not important anyway. I think the story of Dr. David Kelly was a very compelling story, and a very interesting to see how in these wonderfully, democratic, love is love, and we're all about caring for people and this, that, and the other. The way a large, callous bureaucracy would crush you when you become inconvenient. The reason I'm mentioning this is because we're now being subjected to the travails of Nick Hancock, who, if Thom Yorke's song about Dr. David Kelly is a song of quiet desperation, and if we had to try and think of an analogy for something analogous to depict the Nick Hancock situation, it would be more akin to a Norman Wisdom farce. Yeah, I know I'm aging myself by making a cultural reference like that, but I don't give a fuck. So I all I've seen of this whole saga, notwithstanding how serious the whole thing is just it makes me laugh quite a lot. A middle manager, bureaucratic oaf into whose inept lap this strange situation of whatever COVID actually was, and his management of it, and his subsequent behaviour in the last 2 years. All that we're saying now about WhatsApp messages and this, that, and the other is just, and the biography and the relationship and the journalistic ethics be underpinning the whole thing is just, yeah. Or actually, you know what? Not a Norman Wisdom farce. That's far too sophisticated. It's more like a Benny Hill episode. Okay, so rather than the plangent tones of Thom Yorke and the Harrow Down Hill song, I really think we should be getting the Ernie the Fastest Milkman in the West with an overlay of Nick Hancock. montage, you know, as a sort of a musical accompaniment to the whole thing. And that is the really alarming thing about this, is that this is all so silly and stupid and disheartening that that this is the level we're at now. This is the level we're at now, you know. But you know, that's unfortunately where we're at, and that's all that this cabbage deserves as a political epithet. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll try and throw a few links to what I'm actually talking about in the description here. Okay, so thanks for listening, bye.